Hey guys, it's Troy here, and today we are going to delve into one of the most unique shortcuts in Mario Kart Wii, one that I bet many of you are not familiar with. As we all know, this game is famous for its abundance of glitches and ultra shortcuts. All ultra shortcuts are banned in online Mario Kart Wii due to how they skip major key checkpoints and cut off massive portions of the tracks. Now, this following shortcut is one of my favorites, simply because it's one of a kind. It's actually not even an ultra shortcut, which is something that adds to its uniqueness. But before we continue, it is important to mention this shortcut got banned from online play about a year ago, so do not do this shortcut online in worldwides or competitive play because you will get banned. So without further suspense, let's take a look at it. The shortcut begins at the end of either lap 1 or 2. You need at least one mushroom as you launch over the slope attempting to land on the rail. It's pretty difficult and there's a lot of things that can go wrong, but we'll get to that later. But if you manage to stay on it and get around the corner and cross the start line, drive forward till the second to last dark brick and then drive off the edge to the right. This will respawn you before the finish line and after you've crossed the first key checkpoint. Now here's where it gets interesting. Charge a standstill mini turbo and turn around 180 degrees because now you're about to drive half a lap backwards. Because you're now in dead last, you're going to want to hit every item box you can and keep chaining power items relentlessly. Hopefully you don't pull a bullet or a golden mushroom until a few boxes since they're unchainable. After the U-turn sections, you're going to use a mushroom or star to launch yourself over the hill, creating a massive backward shortcut and triggering the second key checkpoint in the process. And now you're probably in first place with a broken item in your inventory. From that point, continue the lap as per usual, and miraculously, the lap actually counts. It's hard to wrap your head around how this even counts the lap when you see it at first, so let's break down why this actually works. Here's a map of desert hills from an aerial view. Now in Mario Kart Wii, once you cross the first key checkpoint, you have to cross all of them in order to get a lap count. After landing on the rail, passing the start line, and the first key checkpoint, we are diving off the edge and spawning before the start line. As long as you don't recross the start line, your next objective is to hit the second key checkpoint just like any lap. So why drive forwards when driving backwards is almost equal amount of distance, but you're going to be consecutively chaining 12th place items over and over. For some reason, when Nintendo designed Desert Hills, they made the first and second key checkpoints half a lap away from each other, and this is the only reason this even works in the first place. I don't think there's another track in the game that has two key checkpoints as drastically far away from one another as Desert Hills does. So like ultra shortcuts, which are banned for skipping key checkpoints, why is this shortcut also banned if it doesn't skip any? Unfortunately, because you're entering the zone of the second key checkpoint not from the front, the other racers' games will get confused and it'll mess up the position tracker for every racer in the room. This unfortunate glitch in Mario Kart Wii also happens with the DK Jungle Parkway Spiral Skip shortcut, which is why it is also banned online despite not being an ultra. Luckily, you can still do the shortcut offline, so it works for speedruns, or if you want to show off to your friends in multiplayer mode. So let's get back to the intricacies of this shortcut. Let's break down how ridiculous it actually is and why I love it so much. First, it's different every single time you execute it, so you have to think quick on your feet. In this clip, I chain the shock into the bullet, so now I can't do the backward shortcut, so right when my position counter updates, I know I've hit the second key checkpoint and I can activate my bullet to avoid having to turn around with a standstill mini turbo. However, in this example where I pull the bullet, I notice the mushroom on the U-turn as I'm driving backwards, so I opt to do a standstill mini turbo so I can snag the mushroom for a hill shortcut and use my bullet afterward to get past the U-turn section instead. Even if you get really unlucky pulling a golden mushroom on the first set, you can still get a 30-second lap if you drive well backwards and pull off the backwards cut at a favorable angle. Just for reference, the world record for Desert Hills gets 3 30-second laps, and that's with near perfect driving and doing the wall clip shortcut over the lake. And like I said, getting the golden mushroom from the item roulette is worst case scenario. Before I show you what an optimal attempt looks like, let me show you how risky this shortcut is in reality. The risk versus reward is the highest of any regular shortcut ever. First, the most obvious thing that can go wrong is right at the start, and that's overshooting the rail, which will result in like a 5 to 7 second time loss. Next would be cutting the turn too sharp. The out of bounds region extends super far out, so this is an easy way to fail and lose a lot of time. If you land on the rail and have too much speed after, You still create a mini shortcut and can re-enter the main road after the start line, which is best case scenario out of the failed attempts since it spits you back on the main road. As for worst case scenario, if you fail the backward shortcut, it'll respawn you at the start line. You lose all your progress and your race is practically over. Now let's talk about optimization. With multiple mushrooms and a lucky bounce, you can trigger the first key checkpoint without riding the wall at all and save an additional couple seconds. However, this is extremely risky and can result in an auto race loss if done incorrectly. As shown here, we attempted the strategy, we triggered the lap count, and we are respawning behind the finish line as per usual. However, we did not make it to the first key checkpoint, so when we get to the second one as expected, our position counter will not update and our race is completely over, and we just got lapped. Alright, so before we end this video, let me show you what a perfect attempt looks like and how absurd the lap times you can actually expect will be. This is the Desert Hills Roulette shortcut at full potential. A 27-second lap. So you're 3 seconds ahead of world record pace in one single lap. You use the shock, the most powerful item in the game, screwing everyone else over. Oh, and to top it all off, you're spamming a golden mushroom while in first place on a track with a ton of off-road. So yeah, most broken non-ultra shortcut in Mario Kart Wii. Thank you, Nintendo, for making Mario Kart Wii. The game is the gift that keeps on giving. I think we'll see this used in some speedruns potentially in the future, but I don't think this shortcut will ever be unbanned from competitive online play. Still, one of the coolest shortcuts in the game, and it is so much fun to execute. I had a lot of fun breaking down the entire process of this shortcut. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed this style of scripted commentary, and I know it's not what we usually upload, but it's nice to mix it up. If you enjoy Mario Kart Wii shortcuts, be sure to check out my playlist in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Enjoy Funky Kong dancing, and peace.